This evening we're doing a little brown rat and muskrat pest control at a park. How it works is the mink goes in the holes and tries to catch the rat. If the rat escapes the mink and comes out of its hole, either the dog dives in and catches it, or I catch it with the net. Between the three of us, we make a surprisingly efficient team. Where'd it go? There it is. It's in the water. Oh, she missed it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
There it is. There it is right there.
Good dog. You get on film?
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome. Good dog. Both of you. Good dog. Good girl. Pick it up. Bite. Good dog. Oh, she lost it. I got it.
Good boy.
Good boy. Good boy.
Oh, there she comes. Here, Abby. Abby. So we just saw one right there.
It's in a hole in the
So Abby's going upstream.
So it's a brown rat, not a muskrat. That's odd. Go on the other side, Abby girl.
But it was a muskrat that was in that hole. It was way too big to be a brown rat.
Well, brown rat come running out.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you're right. I thought you were talking about a brown rat over here.
It was. It crossed.
Oh.
Go into the far bank and go look over there, Abby. We're about to show you some mink-muskrat interaction that I've never actually captured on film before. I've seen it captured on film by other people, and I've seen it in person lots of times, but I've never actually caught it on film myself. Oh, there we go, finally.
She's getting attacked by it.
Here it goes. Outside. Good girl, she got it. Good girl. Out. Good dog.
Oh well.
Good job, Onsa. Mink-muskrat interactions aren't always as straightforward as my videos make them appear. And the reason is like I said, I just haven't really captured the footage myself previous to this. So one thing to help you guys understand is that mink and muskrats, though of course they have a predator-prey relationship, just like a lot of other predator-prey relationships, it's not just the mink pursuing the muskrat. Just like with lions, say, for example, if you've ever watched a documentary where lions are chasing those great big Cape buffalo, sometimes the Cape buffalo are just as actively pursuing the lions. And the same happens with mink. More specifically with mink who don't have the best of confidence when it comes to hunting muskrats. Muskrats will actively pursue and pressure a mink out of an area if the mink isn't confident enough to confront the muskrat directly. Now, with mink like Abby, I've seen her multiple times being bullied by muskrats. The reason is her confidence isn't that great. She's, unlike Rio, she's confident enough to get in there and get the muskrat out of the hole the vast majority of the time. Rio's not even confident enough to do that. If you've ever seen my little mink Rio, a lot of times she won't even go in the muskrat hole. And if she flushes it, it's usually by accident. Abby, on the other hand, she's confident enough that most of the time she'll go in the muskrat hole and push the muskrat right out without any problems. However, like in this circumstance where she comes up against a big, confident male muskrat, you'll see that she's actually the one fleeing from the muskrat. Now, it doesn't just happen with Abby. Like, for example, Ben. You guys have seen a couple videos of him. He's a big, pretty confident male mink. And he's pretty good at, just a lot better than Abby, in fact, at, you know, slamming a muskrat and killing him real quick. However, even Ben, he's been driven out of holes by muskrats. So even some, you know, relatively confident mink that are pretty darn big can be bullied by a muskrat. So it really takes a super confident mink, and it doesn't have to do with size or strength. It all has to do with what's in their head. Is the mink convinced that he's the top dog, or does he have a question in his mind and willing to back off the minute things get hot? Now, if you look at a mink like Fang, if you guys remember my mink Fang, man, she never, ever, in all the time and all the muskrats she hunted, I've never seen her come out of a hole running from a muskrat. Never. Now, did Fang ever run into a muskrat that she couldn't take? Well, actually she did. She ran into one. It was a big male muskrat, and he was so confident and so aggressive that Fang was kind of like, yeah, you know, I don't know that I want to kill this guy. But unlike Ben, unlike Rio, unlike Abby, she never ran from a muskrat. She actually chased that muskrat. She pushed him out of his hole and made him run and hide. But once he come out of his hole, she wasn't confident enough to then take him after the fact. So, you know, maybe Fang wasn't willing to kill every single muskrat she saw. There was one who kind of bested her. But even in those circumstances, she always had that muskrat flying out of their hole. So you'll see there's a huge variation of confidence when it comes to mink and hunting in general.